What is up, everybody? This is K-Rail reporting live from Fairfield, Connecticut. And yes, I've got raccoon eyes. I will try to do something about that if I can, but unfortunately, the position of the sun in the sky right now is disallowing me to do anything about it. But if I feel it becomes too obnoxious, I will flip the camera around, and then you're gonna have to deal with the shine on my head instead of the raccoon eyes. But in the meantime, let's talk about a couple things. I've been asked a lot of questions lately about how often should you train your abs, and I like to think that I'm an abs specialist because of the program I designed called My Six Pack Challenge, which I might add you can get on the Pine Pollen Superfoods website, and you can also get our 12-week program called Rebuild too. Just getting formalities out of the way. Now, you know how it works. We're gonna do a little exercise together right now, a movement break, because I've been sitting this morning writing some articles. Now I'm out in the hot sun and my shirt is off because it is hot out. And I like to get vitamin D, and I'm not trying to gloat or anything like that about my body. That's not the deal. I try to get as much vitamin D as I can on a daily basis, and the quickest, easiest way to do that is by the medium of the sun, which is above us. Now we're gonna do a quick movement break, and what we're going to do today is an extended triangle yoga pose, because I love yoga, and I don't do enough of it, and I need to do more to make sure that I stay flexible because of all that high-intensity exercise that I do. But we, together, as a team, are gonna do an extended triangle. So I'm gonna step back there, you're gonna stand up, and we're gonna do it. You ready? Here we go. Let me make sure I don't break my arms on these beams behind me, and hopefully my whole frame will be my whole body will be in frame. Okay, so we're gonna take our left foot, and we're gonna turn it that way. We're gonna take our right foot, and we're gonna turn it in slightly, about like this. So my feet are positioned about yay, like that. If you take my hands and use them as guideposts, that's where you want your feet to be. Now we're gonna push our hips back like this, keep this leg straight. We're gonna extend this arm straight up in the air. Take this hand and place it on the inside of your thigh, slide down like this. Look up toward your fingers and try to make a straight line from hand to hand, and then hold for about 30 seconds. We're not gonna hold for 30 seconds, we're gonna hold for about 10 or 15, and you're gonna listen to me babble while I do this. So, if you haven't heard the memo, Mother Nature is your friend. Get outside every day and get some ecotherapy, because it's very therapeutic. Now we're gonna go to the other side because we have symmetry, we have two sides of the body, and we have to balance it out. Now we're gonna extend our arm up like this, come down to the side, look up toward your fingers. I'm a little tighter on this side of the body, which I'm sure some of you will find out that you are as well. That means you have one stupid side and one smart side. Our goal is to always try to make both sides of our body the smart sides. Okay? A couple breaths. Good. Now come on up. Okay, movement break over. Now let's get down to business. I'm gonna pull the camera over here so I can sit on this nice swing back here at this Airbnb place I'm staying. All right, let me see. I might have to reposition because those raccoon eyes might drive me crazy. Who is that, Frank? Hey Frank, how's it going? And hi Lisa too. Okay, so how often should you work your abs? I get that question often. The bottom line is this. I wipe the sweat from my brow. Your abs need to be worked just like any other muscle group. They need to be worked hard, and then they need to recover. So they need time to rest, but also they have a lot of fast twitch muscle in them too, because they're being activated on a daily basis for things that you do on a regular basis too, such as getting up out of a chair, putting groceries in a car, pushing your kids on a swing, making a rotational movement like this. If you play any kind of sports or racket sports or bike riding and you're like holding like this, your abs are being engaged. So technically, you actually work your abs every day. You just don't do it to a high degree. As far as targeting your abs with a high intensity workout, that question is the big question. And I would say 3 times a week on alternating days is going to be the sweet spot where you can like really hammer your abs. And then even on alternate days like that, if you're doing weight training exercises, such as kettlebell work, accessory drills, or if you're doing like presses or Turkish get-ups and stuff like that, your abs are going to be engaged at a very high amount of tension is going to be put on them as well. So in the big picture, you can work your abs basically every day of the week. It's just that you don't want to pulverize them every day of the week, just like any other muscle group. All right, the eyes are bothering me. I'm gonna flip over to here. You might get shined out with my head now. Oh, you can see my face again. I think that's a little better. Okay, my head's a little shiny, but my face is more clear. No more raccoon eyes. So now I have more emotional connection, see? So I'm not trying to shade you out with the shade under my eyes. So anyway, in the big picture, you can easily get away with working your abs every single day of the week, but the key is, like I said, try to pulverize them, if you will, no more than 3 times a week. Every other day is totally fine. Oh yeah, now the sun goes in as soon as I come over here. So if you get like a good solid 3 high intensity workouts in a week on your abs, you're gonna be totally fine. On those off days in between, depending on what your workout structure looks like, you can totally do like planking or like positions of the body where you're doing like a side plank position, doing like presses and stuff like that, and your abs are still gonna be engaged. So actually one of the secrets, in my opinion, to getting lean muscle mass in your abdominal area and burning fat and seeing definition is to do just that. So work your abs diligently for like 3 days a week on alternating days, and then in the middle of that, during the week, do some kind of activity where your abs are still being engaged, but not being pulverized. So tension is the key word I'm trying to get at here. So Turkish get-ups, for example, are one of my go-tos when it comes to kettlebell training. They create a lot of tension in the abs. Let me just adjust my camera a little bit because it looks a little crooked. And they're going to be able to expedite your progress when it comes to building definition. Now, of course, we need to burn the fat on our stomach as well, or you won't see any definition at all. It's never gonna happen. So obviously a clean diet is gonna come into play, and calorie restriction if need be. I would suggest doing time restricted feeding or some form of fasting. Working out in a fasted state is going to be amazing. Put all those factors together, incorporate the rest of your muscles too, and build as much lean muscle mass as you can, and your metabolism will rise, and that's gonna contribute to more fat being burned in your midsection too. So all those ingredients combined are gonna be just what you need and just what the doctor ordered to build lean muscle mass, especially in your abdominal region. So that pretty much answers the question of how often should you work your abs. If you wanna have any more detailed information, send me a PM and I'll give you more. But for now, that's what you need to work with. Especially with summer coming up, people are asking me a lot, like, I wanna get, I'm going to the beach, I'm doing this, I'm going to a pool parties and everything else, I wanna get definition in my stomach. So those are some secrets, and that's how you can get that done. Now, I got some funny things to talk about. So I've been in Fairfield, Connecticut for the past, it'll be 3 weeks tomorrow. We've been doing some, hey Deborah, how's it going? We've been doing some workshops down at Wilton Sport and Fitness, down in Wilton, Connecticut, down the road, half hour down the road or so. And we've got one coming up in New York City this Saturday. If any of you are actually in the New York City area, hit me up and I'll let you know where we're gonna be and when we're gonna be there. It's gonna be 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at a place called, not Gabriel, what's his first name? Fabian Garcia DPT's place in New York City, in Manhattan. So if any of you are out there and you wanna come to our workshop, Indian clubs and maces, also known as Gadas, we will be instructing on those. It's gonna be a small clinic. We have a small space to work with, but we're gonna be there from 9 to 1, and then weather pending, hopefully the weather will be like this, we're going right over to Central Park, and we're gonna bring our tools with us, and we're gonna be over there as well in the afternoon. Hey Patsy, how's it going? Unless I already said that. If I didn't, I just said it twice. So here's some funny stories I have to keep you up abreast upon. On Monday, I went to Wilton Sport and Fitness. I worked out for about an hour and 45 minutes. And then my good friend Kelly Manzoni came over, who's part of my Indian Clubs International team, along with Paul Volkovinsky. So she comes in and we start doing the circuit that we built. And it consisted of kettlebell snatches, tire slams with the steel maces from Garage Fit, which are really sweet maces, I might add. And then we did split stance push-ups on the Sheno boards, and then we did Indian Club Edward Heart shapes. And we did about a 30-minute high-intensity routine. And I remember getting into a deep squat position. I was leaning against the wall in a low squat position as she was talking to me, because she was like uploading a video that we had made. And all of a sudden I stood up and I was like, I felt super dizzy. And I go, Kelly, I feel really dizzy. And she like wasn't paying attention, like, okay. And then like I couldn't formulate the name Kelly again. And next thing you know, she starts yelling my name and everything just went blurry. Boom, I was out, like a light. I still have a scratch right there. Do you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Right there, bang, pieced out, like out cold. Needless to say, she freaked out. I finally came to, I drank some water, I ate some sea salt, and then I was right back to slamming the tire again in no time. But the moral of that story is, you never know what's gonna happen. Know your limitations. I try to think I have none, but we all have them. And push yourself as much as you can, but don't go too far. And always aim for 90% quality or better with your workouts. And if you're gonna pass out during your workout, then you're not aiming for 9% quality. Ego got in control. The bottom line is, do not let ego be your driver of anything, because ego is your mind's basically it's an attachment to an expectation. And when that expectation is unmet, also known as an unmet expectation, boom, you get in trouble, because ego gets attached to it because you want a desired outcome to occur. And when that desired outcome doesn't come, you're in bad shape. Don't let it happen. Skip right past it. No ego. No ego. Remember that. So ego got in control. I pieced out. Later in the day, I walk outside barefoot on the blacktop and I step on a rock. And then we go over to the UPS place to send out a bunch of Gadas and some manuals and stuff from our past workshops. All of a sudden, it felt like there was a marble under my right foot. And I had my minimalist shoes on, which were 1 millimeter, I might add. And I was like, what the heck? There's something in my shoe. I took my shoe off. There was nothing in there. I went and put my bare foot on the floor, and I still felt that marble feeling. So I looked at the ground. There's nothing there. I turned my foot up in the air, and there's a knot this big on the bottom of my toe, under my big foot, my big toe. So evidently, I stepped on a rock, and I hit the bone on the bottom of my toe, and that thing swelled up like a golf ball. I mean, it looked like a golf ball was on the bottom of my foot, inside my foot. And it's all black and blue right now. Anyway, I limped around the rest of the day. Pain is totally gone now, but it's all like gnarly colors of black and green and orange and all these disgusting colors. I must have popped a blood vessel or something like that. So that was interesting story number 2. Then I go to Yankees game Monday night with my good friend Chris Riddell. And I'm sitting there telling her a story. Now, mind you, I'm at a baseball game, a public baseball game, 50,000 screaming fans, announcer yelling and screaming. The backboard up there on the other side of the field is going nuts. Lights, camera, action, lots of loud noises and banging going on. So I have to talk loud, kind of like I'm talking loud now, although you can't really tell how loud I'm talking. But if you're standing next to me, you'd be like, K-Rail, you're talking really loud. Okay, so what? I talk loud. It was part of my acting school years ago that I always learned to be seen, be heard, and be felt. And the only way you're gonna feel me is if I talk loud, especially if I'm at a ball game with 50,000 screaming fans around me. So I proceed to have this conversation, and this woman just turns around and looks at me. And she's like, kept looking out of the corner of her eye. And I'm like, and I politely said, oh, I'm sorry, am I talking too loud? Jokingly, thinking she was just like eavesdropping on my conversation. That was what I was saying, because I always have good things to say. Anyway, she goes, yeah, for the last hour and a half now. And she snapped at me. She shushed me. A woman shushed me at a baseball game. Major League Baseball, New York Yankees. They won the game, by the way, 7-3 over the Seattle Mariners, which was awesome. So I'm at a baseball game, and this woman shushes me. I'm at a loss of words. I've never been shushed at a public place like that in the history of my life. I guess you gotta be very careful when you're at a New York Yankees ball game in a specialty seat right behind home plate, 15 rows up. Anyway, take that into consideration next time you go to a game. Make sure you whisper to whoever you're with, because you might get shushed by somebody, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And finally, I go to the gym this past week, this gym up the road, the J it's called, J Fitness. If you're ever in Fairfield, it's called the J Fitness Center. It's part of this, like, I don't know, I think it's a Jewish community center or something. I guess that's what the J stands for. But all in all, it's a good gym. It's clean, it's upscale, it's nice and everything, but their kettlebells are unsatisfactory. They have shiny handles. I think it's, I don't know what company it is, Spree or Power Systems or something. They only go up to 40 pounds. They're neat over there. They put everything back, which is great, but there's a couple things they're missing. Well, I proceed to work out there for the past week and a half, taking in my Indian clubs, taking in my homemade gata, taking in my steel mace at will. Because when I signed up there for a month, I got a special deal on a month membership. The dude behind the counter said, I specifically asked him, is it okay if I bring my tools in? He's like, oh yeah, you can bring in anything you want. He's like, and we have separate rooms here. We have the fitness studio here. We got the spin room there. He goes, you can just bring in whatever you want. I'm like, okay, cool. So I signed up, and I'm thinking, great, it's 1 mile from my house. I was bringing my tools in for the past week. All of a sudden yesterday, I get a phone call from the head trainer over there. Maybe she was the manager. I don't know what she was. Very polite, very nice, very kind. And she's like, hi, this is blah, 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 blah from the J Fitness. I was like, okay, how's it going? She's like, good. We've had a little issue at the gym this morning, and I was told by the front desk that you were bringing tools into the gym. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. So anyway, long story short, she sweetened the pie. Someone narked on me over there because I was bringing my tools in, and obviously they were either jealous of my tools, jealous of my abilities, or they were just trying to cause a ruckus. And it seems like no matter how hard I try to stay to myself and be quiet as a church mouse, I still cause a ruckus and drama no matter where I go. I'm trying to work on that. I don't know how I can avoid it. Anyway, you're not allowed to bring tools into the gym, she tells me. I was like, okay, well, maybe the dude that gave me the tour when I first walked in should have told me that, and maybe I wouldn't have come to your gym in the first place. And she's like, oh, well, let's compromise here, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, we have a room in the back, and then she gave me the spiel about the rooms they have available. And she's like, as long as you come in and there's no classes going on, I'm gonna let you go into those rooms. She's like, but just keep that between you and me. So she was sweet talking me. Hold on until this loud, noisy, very environmentally unfriendly truck goes by. And a school bus, also very environmentally unfriendly, as far as I know. Okay, they're gone. I think, yes, okay. So anyway, I think they were just sweet talking me. So I didn't get kicked out of the gym. They just said, keep it on the DL and make sure you get there at 5 a.m. in the morning, which I normally get there at 5 a.m. anyway, because I told her that. I said, I come in early. Can I just go in the other room? She's like, as long as there's no classes going on, you can go into those rooms and blah, blah, blah. So now I'm a little nervous when I walk in there, because I saw the two dudes eyeballing me this morning when I walked in, and I had no tools, and I had my hoodie on like this, and I kind of peered at them through my beady little eyes at like 5:30 in the morning. And I made eye contact with them. I kind of felt like Clint Eastwood in The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. He's walking down the road, and he's like looking at Tuco Ramirez, like he wanted to pop him because he got him in trouble. Well, that's kind of what it felt like. It felt like we had a Mexican standoff going on. Anyway, I didn't bring my tools in today, needless to say. Did an hour on the stair climber, did a bunch of ab work, and then I went home. Tomorrow, different story. I'm bringing the tools back. I'm going to stick them on the side of the room, and as soon as I'm done, I'm going right into one of those fitness studios, and if anything's open, I'm going to start slinging away. And I'd like to see them try to stop me. They just might get a mouthful of gata if they're not careful. No, I'm joking. I've never hit anybody with my gata. But anyway, those are all my funny stories for now. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more before this road trip is over with, and I'm just getting warmed up. I'm out here in Fairfield, Connecticut, and I'm going to be leaving on Monday, going back to Pennsylvania. Deborah. Well, I appreciate that, Deborah. She said, keep doing you. She won't want it any other way. Well, I don't want it any other way. Actually, I can't do it any other way because I don't know any other way. All I know is my way. And hopefully that resonates with a lot of you. And if it doesn't, I'm sorry. I guess, maybe I'm not going to water anything down. I'd be lying if I told you that. I will never water anything down, especially when I'm sitting in the sun right now. I am getting hot, though, and I'm getting thirsty. I'm going to have to go get a kombucha, and I got to peace out for now. So remember, actually, that's a good way to finish right there. You do you, you be you, all of you out there. Don't let anyone look down their nose at you. Don't let anyone ignore you. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're lesser than them. You're not lesser than anybody. You are amazing as you are. You are the master. You are in complete control. You can listen to people's rules and you can abide to them as much as you want to. But always remember to keep it real here and keep it real here in the computer, man. That's where it all matters most. You all have amazing skills and abilities. We only tap into 10% of our brain function at any one given hour of a day. Try to get to 15 or 20% and see what happens. Doing cross-body patterns will help that a lot. Doing Indian clubs, doing Gata work, doing transverse turns and sagittal 360s, that will help a lot to fire this sucker up right here. Let's keep this strong and keep this strong. More than anything else, forget about the abs and all the showcase muscles. They mean nothing. Thanks, Nacho. I will try to do that. I will do my best to have a safe trip back home. I won't be coming home for I don't know how long yet. I have a lot of travels to do yet, and I have a lot of people to see. And I have a lot of fitness and health crime to fight out on the streets. That's because I'm the vigilante of health and fitness. That's why, in case you're curious. Anyway, this is K-Rail. I'm going to have to get going now. I have to go meet Paul and Kelly. We're going to go out to a park and have some fun out there, do some swinging of the Gatas and the Indian clubs probably, and talk some business. Remember, if you want to get an ab workout, go to my six-pack challenge. Go to restoreyourfitness.com and get my six-pack challenge, or go to Pine Pollen Superfoods. You can find it there, and also get the rebuild program because they're both good. And I'm not trying to give a sleazy plug at the end. I'm just being honest with you. I wouldn't put anything out there that's crappy. It's all good stuff, and it's cheap. Just do it. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments further about ab training, about any training whatsoever, lean muscle mass, posture, yoga, I don't care. Fasting, food, gut health, hit me up. I'm available. And I'm in it for you. Anyway, remember your rules. Always live in the present moment. Go beyond your comfort zone at least once every single day. Hug at least 5 people every day. That sometimes is tough, especially when you're traveling long distances. And if you roll into a town and ask someone for a hug, they're probably gonna look at you funny. Not that I've tried it, because I haven't, and I don't plan on it soon. But it is challenging, just know that. And also, Rome wasn't built in a day. Be patient, stay the course, stay disciplined, do the little things, do the small things, because the small things are what add up over time. That is my best advice to you. Until next time, this is K-Rail reporting live, and I'm in Fairfield, Connecticut. I almost said Utah. Fairfield, Connecticut, and have a wonderful day. Matter of fact, make this the best day of your life, the rest of it. For those of you on the West Coast, it's just winding up. Here we're about in the middle. Until next time, this is K-Rail reporting live.